We will just welcome everybody and thank you for joining us to the fifth session of the Marketing Bootcamp hosted by the Chamber of Commerce. Today we have a great speaker and he's going to talk to us about web optimization. So I think it's something that is going to be really useful for everybody. Right now, like every single business has a website, so it's good to know how we can make that work. So thank you for being here, Jamie, and to share with us a little bit of your knowledge, and the screen is all yours.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. Let's see here. How do I share this screen? Just going to pull up. Screen sharing just went away. Someone else sharing, maybe? Something like that? No? Here we go. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining today. I'm just going to move this out of the here, down here maybe. So going to talk just a little bit today about web optimization and, you know, based on really not knowing the audience for today. Sorry. You know, I went with a more generic kind of startup process and, you know, figure we will have other sessions further down the road. So, you know, web optimization is really, it is a web of a lot of different things. So just to get started here, and, you know, I think one of the most important things that people do is think about it before you're rebuilding your site or, you know, building from the start. So, together, a functional website, a strategy to get people there, and a plan to capture opportunities can grow your business. So take control, leverage your knowledge, and track your progress. So coming up for some air here about, you know, what it can be overwhelming, and, you know, there's different types of websites. Obviously, there's small blogs, there's artistry specific, you know, seeking out commissions. There's, you know, online stores, you're selling products and you're an affiliate product, you know, an affiliate link with Amazon. You have a business that you want to be found for locally. So there's just a lot of different types of websites, and they really aren't all the same, but, you know, there's a lot of similar aspects to it. So, you know, first things first, and I think with a website is set a budget. And that means, you know, a few different things, not just money monetarily. Dedicate decision makers. In my experience, there's a lot of different decision makers throughout the process. And sorry. So dedicate decision makers, whomever that may be. It could be one person. It could be 4 people. Set that in stone before moving forward with a redesign or a new build. Ask you the questions, you know, how can and should my business benefit from the web? Do you feel like you should have a website because that's what people talk about, or is there, you know, an opportunity within the web that you think would benefit your business? Have a marketing plan to drive existing or potential customers to your sites. You know, just building a website and having a nice, you know, some nice pretty pictures and content up there is great, but if you're not doing anything to get people to go there, it's, you know, a lot of work for nothing. Develop a process, and this is often overlooked, develop a process for managing website traffic and queries. If you spend a lot of money building a new website, adding, you know, maybe a restaurant is now providing order, you know, you can order online, like, you know, like everyone started doing a year ago. And do you have the capacity to take in unknown number of orders? What's the process if it gets out of hand? And, you know, are you able to pull the site down? Are you going to be able to staff accordingly, deliver in the timeframes that you planned on it? So having a process for managing the traffic and queries coming in is very important in the process. Then you build your site. And that, that includes organic search engine optimization, paid SEO, different content management systems, whether you're doing it yourself, hiring an agency, your cousin's nephew, just, is getting into it. The number of times we hear that is really impressive. And that can be great. That's a perfect fit for a lot of people, but there's still some questions that you should, take control of. And then track results, manage, and then rebudget. So that's, kind of the basic outline as I see it. So just charging forward here. So setting a budget and a realistic timeline. Obviously time, time going back and forth with a web designer, web developer, two different things there, but a content writer. It takes time, it takes your time. It takes their time, and that might cost you money. So expenses, just straight, how much money is it going to cost you? If you're paying someone, if you're going to pay someone extra overtime, or have an employee take time out of something they're already doing to do this. If you have a dedicated marketing department, just understand the full breadth of your budget. And then obviously opportunity costs. Small businesses, sometimes they'll have maybe a husband and a wife or whomever, and one person's provides the service, the other person manages the business, and they say, well, I can do the website, and but does that take away from maybe something you were already doing that was helping the business grow? So I think that's something people can sometimes often overlook. So dedicate decision makers. Single person is often the best, but for making decisions, not always the best for developing a great site. So it can be a group of people in your office. Maybe you don't have a marketing department, but you have a few customer service people who are really on point and care about your business, who hear what customers are looking for. So include them in your decision-making group. And then obviously external from your organization, whether that's an agency, again, you're hiring someone who is like an employee, but outside of your organization, just have the decision-making pool together in communication, so that things can get done. A lot of times I have this great idea. I want to make a website. I want my website to be better. Okay, I want this page and I want that page, and I want it to do this. And then they say, okay, I'll come back and I'll make you, create something for you. And then it doesn't get reviewed, or it takes a long time to get reviewed. You forget where your mind, what the point was, or you miss that opportunity. So just having the decision-making process aligned is invaluable. Let's go. Here we go. Understand how your business benefits from the web. I often ask the question, what is the value of one new customer? And that might show the value of services we provide to a business, but it really is important if you're asking, what are you going to spend? Well, if you're going to spend, $4,000 in the next 2 months, but generating 5 customers that are worth $10 each, maybe that's not the best, use of your money. If you generate 400 customers that, that amount, then you're starting to make more sense of it. Who are my potential customers? What's the demographic in the area? What are they searching for? Again, that kind of goes back to maybe customer service. So this is when you start, let this person in. Looking into different analytics and keyword searches. What are the products and services I offer? Who's searching for them? And how can I inject myself into that line? And then, a big thing, and with some of my customers especially, is what are the potential cost savings for existing customers? Can you go to online paperless billing? Can you go from a printed newsletter to a digital one where people sign up or retrieve it through the website? Can they order products online that they otherwise couldn't before? So, leveraging existing customers and assessing not just new customers, but how can you improve your business using the web based on your current customers? So, a little delay on the. So build a marketing campaign to drive traffic. If you're planning to do a big website, you want to know exactly, how you plan to get people there. You spend money to get, to build a website. You want people to visit it and buy stuff generally, or sign up for something on the site. So, things like direct mail, every door directs have been, in my experience, can be very helpful for local services. And then, on your website, you might want to have a landing page where someone can sign up for, lawn care services. You can do posts on social media through your own name, through your business name, and different, community groups. But if it's it should be part of a full-fledged campaign to drive, traffic. Word of mouth. Are you going to stand at your counter and say, "Can you visit our website?" That's, that may not be the appeal to some people, but or appealing to some businesses, but some businesses, that's how they communicate with customers. They talk with them face to face. So don't be shy. Don't shy away from that type of thing. Also, using the phone, asking, customer service people, asking after a good experience, to go to the website. And then obviously customer emails, existing statements. I use that a lot. So, there's a lot of different things just outside of paid SEO, paid search engine optimization, where there are expenditures, but there are other ways to get people to go to your site. And some of them can be very successful, depending on what you're trying to do. So develop a process for managing the traffic and queries. The last thing you want to do is spend money to get people to your site, spend money on a new site, and then have all these customers who are excited to do business with you come through and not be able to get what they were hoping to get. Because chances are the person's probably not going to come back and buy from you, or they're going to try somebody else first. And, with the web and the ability to quickly move between, shoppers that are different sources, that people will just move and buy something from, Amazon. I can't order it here, so I'll just get it from Amazon and have it delivered in 2 days instead of, going to pick it up at the store tomorrow. So make sure your customer service are in the know. I do a lot of work in the service industry, so customer service generally are very skilled and can do a great job of capturing information from the web and queries from the web and returning them back there. So granted email responses, make sure your follow-ups to customers are specific and to that product or that query they made. It's personal, has some personal aspects, but using their first name or email. And excuse me one sec. Emails, asking, how did you hear about us? If someone calls in or stops in and wants to, how did you hear about us? Find out whether your website is working for you. So, and then obviously remarketing is kind of a more digital theme now. So build your site. There's a lot of different content management systems. There's, probably 25, a lot of them that you might be familiar with are WordPress, Squarespace, GoDaddy, Wix here. Some other ones that are also common are Joomla, Drupal, which are, probably for the more advanced programmers and designers in that stage. So whoever it is, make sure whether you have the agency, you're doing it yourself. For some businesses, a simple Wix site is all you need. You can have a quick, or Squarespace, you can have a quick shopping cart, checkout, buy something. I always recommend you buy your own hosting or manage your own hosting, or ask your web provider to set up a hosting account for you. So, if things need to change and you're not happy with the web provider, or maybe you have a cousin who is just graduated and they're the best web designer ever and they want to do something for free, you want the ability to take what's yours if you need to, if you want to. So have your own hosting. It doesn't cost too much. Should be, minimal expenditure, $20 a month or something like that, to own what you own. And then obviously the domain you should be buying, I think, earlier when you really have your business set up. So, or when you're planning a marketing campaign, to build a specific site for something, have your domain ready. And then content and content management systems, build your site with care. I mean, having a site up there with limited content, or just 2 years worth of coming soon, just doesn't make sense. So when you build a page, you want your pages to be succinct, to be informative, and to be something that people can easily connect with. So you want the ability to easily edit it. You probably either yourself or someone in your organization, or if you have an agency, someone you want to know how quickly they can make changes. So organic website build, this here, and routes for optimization. So generally what I recommend is you create a wireframe, which is like an outline for your site. It's kind of a hierarchy, whether it's your home page up top, and then you have 5 pages across, 5 links, and then below that you might have sub pages. So it's beneficial to your business to really look at everything you offer and prioritize. Okay, I love selling this necklace, but really our business makes most of our money from selling this one I don't love so much. So where should you prioritize those products? Research yours and other markets. Your competitors are obviously great information, but also other markets are, and see who's leading in searches in other markets. You want your website to be very simple to navigate. You want it to and that goes with convention and familiarity, conventional and familiar as well. You want, when someone clicks a logo at the top, you want it to go to the homepage. You don't want, it to have some sort of crazy pop-up asking you to buy something. You want a menu, in the responsive form, you want the hamburger icon, the 3 lines, so people are familiar with that menu. You don't want it to be some funky icon that people might skip over, because if someone has a user experience, UX, people aren't having a good experience, they're just going to jump. So you want things like your contact information, your phone, contact form, a direct email, whether it's like an info@companyname.com. You want that. I generally recommend having it be fixed at the top, which is generally easy with a lot of content management systems. Someone's looking for a service and they find what they're looking for at any point. You want them in that screen, I think, to be able to just click and call, click and fill out a form, click and send an email. I think having all 3 options is best practice, and I recommend all 3. And if your phone has limited hours, I would note that there as well. So within your content and your website build, you want to answer common questions within your content. If you're looking to be found for searches, search engine optimization, and organic SEO, more and more things are being found because people are asking, how do I fix this plumbing issue? And it'll say, the first sites that'll come up will be paid advertisements. Then below that will be unpaid or organic SEO content, well-written content, and it'll generally be a specific answer to those questions. And how Google sees that is if they've had people go to that site and stay on it for a while and read through, if people go to a site and they immediately back out, your site's going to get pushed down and not going to be well received by Google for search platforms. So answer common questions, use your expertise. So if you are a plumber, explain what that valve might be, because people are more into DIY stuff. So you want it obviously to be responsive on all platforms. If at this point in time, if your website isn't going to be responsive or is not responsive, you're really behind the times. If there's a phone number listed, it should be click to call. If there's pictures should be scaled down to fit on a phone. Content should be within the page, the confines of the screen, and sized appropriately. And but navigating between contact form fields, someone needs to be able to type it in, hit enter, and go to the next one, and not have to scroll, open, and close. So again, unique, well-written content, and that goes. Jill's fantastic at writing content.
How you doing? Is this Ben? It's Eric, private investigator.
Oh, hey. Oh, he's on the phone. Just kidding. So you want a minimum of 300 words to even consider being found by Google. So having a website page that says, that's selling a pizza, and you just have a picture of the best pizza ever and say yum, there's not a chance you're going to come up with Google. But if you on a page have 300 to 500 words, and someone's looking for good pizza in the town, and you can have a bunch of different stuff on your site about with reviews and recommendations and something about your high quality ingredients, and 300 words isn't very much, but it's enough. It's enough. And then if you want to be found towards the top or on a first page, nothing's really going to get found in a competitive market for under 2,000 words. So you need to be you need to be informative and have something to say to be organic, to be found organically. And then internal and external links to high quality, reputable sources is important as well. So that's organic SEO and how you might be found outside of paid clicks. You can pay for ongoing organic SEO, which means basically you're paying someone to continually build pages either for local towns, someone searching for plumbing in Holland versus South Windsor. You can build, but once you start doing that, you can't have duplicate content because then it'll get pushed down. So you need to be unique. So that's where paying someone to write content, well-written content specific to your industry, can be valuable but expensive. So paid SEO, paid traffic. You have your display ads, which are static banners, footers, etc. You can see them, even for example, on the chamber website. If we have the availability to buy an ad and be present on the footer of every page, that's an example of a display ad. You can have that. You can ask anyone if you can pay them to put your ad on there. It might include, if they click a link, there's no additional cost to that. The cost is, usually, I guess, monthly or quarterly or something like that. And it doesn't depend on how many links or click-throughs to your site you have. There's native ads. So that's really some of the more gray area type things. And that's what I also can sometimes refer to as remarketing. So if you're looking up best ice cream near me, and then for some reason 2 days later you're in Amazon or something, and this maybe isn't the best example, but they keep showing you ice cream makers and things of that nature. So that's how you pay for ads that and it's often thought that those are the least obtrusive because it is relevant to what people are already looking for. So while there's that feeling of, oh, well, I'm we're using information from people that maybe wasn't intended to be public, but it is, and then you're advertising back to that. So it exists, and a lot of people use it. So anytime you see like a sponsored ad or something labeled with, labeled within a car, within Amazon, that might be something that you would already you'd look for before. So then there's obviously social media ads, and that's you'll see that on Facebook was a sponsored, pretty straightforward. There's video ads. A lot of people are using YouTube. That'll probably be that's taking over, really, in my opinion. So creating videos. How are we doing on time here? Videos. And then you can be a 15-second clip, a 5-second clip through, at the beginning of YouTube videos, and you can really drive your location based on location, demographics, etc. So then there's more search engine marketing, which is, I guess, really the paid version of the previous page. So of organic SEO, and that's continued content writing, researching keywords, creating pages based on what others in the industry are using, continued blog entries, meta tags, image tags. So then there's pay-per-click, and that's, I think, what a lot of people are curious about. And it's based on a bidding system. And Google, I don't know how much, I'd say probably 80% of pay-per-click ads is in Google, some a little bit in Amazon or Bing. Amazon is growing for that type, for particular products and services, as in Facebook. Understanding your business from the beginning and understanding how you're going to benefit, creating the campaign to get people there. That's where you look at, are my customer demographics, are they searching for, if I'm a plumbing company and I'm searching for plumbing repair near me, chances are you're not going to be in emergency plumbing repair. Someone's not going to jump onto Facebook and say, scrolling for someone with an emergency plumbing service ad. They're going to go to Google search, or they might go into Facebook and ask for a friend's recommendation. So, obviously recommendations and reviews are big, and presence on social media is a big part of this, but pay-per-click is how your business gets charged. So you bid on it. It might be $5 for this time of day, less another time of day. And anytime someone clicks on it, you go through. So and then track, manage, and rebudget with your site. Google Analytics should be involved on every website. Even if you don't check it, someone can at some point. And if you're looking to redo your website, you can look back and say, here's something that worked surprisingly well. Here's something that didn't. Here's where our customers are coming from, this general area. I think I'm spending way too much money on content management when it really hasn't gone well. So follow your timeline. There should be a timeline. And, often with a website build, it can be 6 months to build a site, a well-written site, and switch out from an old site. And then, or staging sites, you can add, sub-content to your site, and it takes time. Don't expect it to happen overnight the way some people just hope it does. And then, results take time. So when you make a change, when you're doing search engine optimization, you're not all of a sudden going to go because you have 2,000 words written about plumbing repair and it's the best written. Not every person searching for plumbing repair is going to come to your page right away. It'll take time. Someone will eventually get there, find success. Google will see, okay, someone stayed on this page for a while. They clicked through, found what they were looking for, and purchased some, and acquired services from you. So if that continues to happen, Google will then push you up through the search results. So that's basically really quick, really with, some details, just a lot of off the cuff conversation points, but I just won't go forward here. So I don't even know what time it is, and this won't go to, so any questions here? Is everyone still there? I should have checked at some point.
Jamie, quick question. What do you think about the funnels?
Yeah, I mean, sales funnels are, it's basically, right, getting people in the door, or, driving people to the end point of purchasing something. What do you mean by sales funnel?
I see that depending on the business, of course, but there's a lot of business that they have their website, but they also create a specific funnel for specific products. So if you have different products on your business, you have your website all constructed or all built, and then you have several funnels for your different products.
Right. And I think the idea with that is that if your site is frankly fantastic and you have some products that are great, and if someone gets to that product and searches for that product and they are introduced to a bunch of other stuff on your website, some businesses might like that. The chances that they buy two things instead of one are maybe greater, but for the most part, that takes away from the potential for the likelihood of that customer to buy immediately if they start seeing other options. So sales funnels are great for products where if they're found, you need to close the door on them, and you don't want them to really
keep searching.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think I don't do too much of that, but I think it's a pretty straightforward.
Actually,
it's a fancy term for something that's really just another page.
Very simple, but what I mean is like what I see, there's a lot of people, and mostly even small business, that they create their website and they don't invest what they should be investing on the main website for paying these little funnels, that at the end they are like making 2 or 3 times the same. If they invest in a better website and do the right job to bring traffic to their main website, it will be a lot more effective. But like now all around social media and everywhere, people talk about these funnels, so they start creating, and it's like when they like approach us like an agency, they just come straight and say like, do you do funnels? And I say, yeah, I can do a funnel, but if it is necessary or if it is good for you, I will not create a funnel just because everybody else is creating that.
Right. No, absolutely. And I think, they're useful, but then, you spend a lot. And I think if your website is strong and the product's strong, you can generate sales both ways. But if you can't generate a sale for a good product through your site, I don't know if funnels make sense, because there'd be such a disconnect. You don't want to create a disconnect between what you're selling and then your brand on your site itself. You don't want to be this, oh, here's all about us. We're a family company and we've been here. And then on the other side, it's buy this today and save 50%. It's just a contrasting style. So, but yeah, sales funnels, it's a hot keyword.
It's good to hear that it's not just me, the one that make that analysis, because there's more and more people asking about funnels, but I think it's more because something that is trend and people just hear about it.
Yeah.
So they think that's the new thing, I need to have it. No, you don't. Like, there's like, I understand there's a specific products that can be sold on a funnel, but not every single product needs a funnel.
Right. I think generally, if you're not seeing a need in your business, if you're not noticing, okay, if you're seeing, we have this product and people buy it, they love it, people are getting to it, and they're just not following through and making the purchase, then at that point you might want to do, something different and create a sales funnel that's more specific. But so that,
yeah, good to know. So that's not just me.
No, it's just more of a way to get a lead, basically. It's like you've got to, in order to have a funnel work, you've got to be able to give them something that's going to be valuable to them.
You can get leads directly to your website, and
you can
invest a little bit more on that instead of just splitting and don't get great results in neither of those.
Okay, one of my clients, and I've asked, he's okay with share. I won't tell you the business, but they do kind of unique window services throughout 150 mile radius, and they do commercial buildings and whatnot. They spend over $1,400 a month for about 2 Google leads, 2 to 4 a week. And that is too much for that. Not the expense, the work, the opportunity that comes in is too much for them. So sometimes we have to stop spending money because they can't do.
They already get, yeah.
They can't do work, and so each ad costs about $28 for a conversion or click through. But it's so specific that we know that when people have gone that far and filled out
You get the return.
a lengthier contact form with images of what they need service. What we found is that if someone's not going to upload an image of the repair that they need, or they're not really serious about buying. So we decided we don't want them, but we just can't assume that they're committed enough, and we don't have the time to follow up with them.
Yeah.
But $1,400 a month for about 20 leads a month.
Yeah, but leads that they will give a
They'll
huge
sell
return, so it's more than worth
18
it.
of them they'll book out, and they book out 18 months and just keep adding, trying to hire people. So
Yeah, completely agree with that. I was curious about it because I am always trying to explain that thing about funnels, and sometimes people think it's maybe because you don't know how to do funnels. No, do a funnel is the easiest thing to do, but it's not useful for you.
there's a lot of, in my opinion, I'm self-taught for the most part, and when you really learn it that way, you find there's a lot of jargon that it makes it sound a lot more complicated and a lot fancier than it needs to be.
That what it really is.
We're not all Amazon, or I'm trying to think of a big clothing company or something that if someone's going to go buy a $200 pair of jeans, and there's a bunch of different, that's a totally different experience, I think, than selling, trying to get someone to come to your restaurant locally for ladies' night every Friday. So
that's right.
Any other questions, Amy? Just checking to see if Amy's still here.
I'm here.
All right.
You don't have any questions about your website, Amy?
No.
Is there anything anyone was looking for in this website in this presentation that wasn't delivered, or anything you really want to learn more about? Because there's so much to do, and it's hard to know where everyone's at in their own business. And does everyone manage their own website here?
I do,
You do.
but mine sucks.
What do you use? How is it built, if I may ask?
Yeah, mine's built off of it's actually called Zenfolio, so it's a kind of we use it as a gallery.
Yep.
But Zenfolio also expanded so that it will host your website for you, and you have content, but it's all template built. So, but you can expand upon that. Like I could put a WordPress page in the front of it. I just haven't done that yet. I haven't gone far enough to do it.
That's the one with Adobe, right?
What was that?
Is the one with Adobe?
No. It's just it's one of them, like SmugMug and those gallery type style. Like if you're looking for I forget the other one. We actually use it for a gallery because it was free.
It's really geared toward artists, and
it is because the hardest part for us is that when we're trying to show images to people, we need a gallery that we can actually upload the high res images to.
Right,
and so that's actually one part of my storage as well, because Zenfolio allows me, because I'm grandfathered in with them from the beginning, they allow me to go ahead and store high res images unlimited. Unlimited.
Wow, that's like a jackpot, huh?
It is a total jackpot. So they've been changing that now, but literally it's so
Does anyone else have anything to do with a website? I mean, maybe it's not your own business. Maybe it's, I mean, maybe it's not your primary work, but maybe a side business or, you know, any other website. Does anyone not have a website yet? I'm just looking, is there anything in the chat here? Oh, just-
So I'm currently working with Liliana on building something that I've been passionate about for, everybody knows I work for the bank and I've been in banking since 1999, but something that I'm doing is a side business and hopefully it flourishes and I'm able to start a whole new career is a coaching and business coaching, you know, like general life coaching and business coaching business. So I'm working with Liliana and this has been very useful to learn the ins and outs, because obviously the banking and financing aspect of it, I have, you know, plenty of experience, but anything digital, I can break an Excel spreadsheet like no tomorrow in like a split second. So this is very informative for me, eye-opening and all these things. And I'm not a obviously social person. So it's helping me come out of that shell for myself. I'm very personable and approachable and social, but I'm private, I guess, to the digital world. So this has been an opportunity for me to come out of my shell in that aspect and also build something that I'm passionate about, you know, doing, which is helping people personally and business wise.
I think that's
So I'm
fantastic.
excited.
That's great.
Actually,
Congrats.
it's a very interesting project. I think it's a great idea.
Pretty good hands with Liliana too.
Absolutely.
Very magic.
Of course. And, you know, and some of it, you know, like a bank, you know, I was an economics major in school, and you know, it's website development. It's a whole totally. Once you get into the keywords, it kind of comes back to spreadsheets and, you know, measuring numbers and conversions. But, you know, really is a different. It's the left brain, right brain thing when you get into the website thing, and it's you know, using images, and you know, you think, oh, this will look great, and you put it up there, and you go look at it on your phone. You say, oh my good God,
It's not that great.
No, that's delete, and but it's, you know, it's, you want your business to look a certain way, and you know, a website can do that if done the right way. So
Yeah, sometimes it's
I would say,
you're gonna do a
I
video.
wanna
Are you gonna
learn-
do a video, Gladys? You should do a.
oh
a nice-
God, that's my next hurdle. So I'm gonna get there. But I want to know more about, so maybe this can be a future topic, I guess, is how to look at the traffic that comes into your website and, you know, what are some maybe deterrents for people when they land on your page, not filling out, you know, the contact information or like, you know, ask me a question or generic question type of thing to create that lead and that buzz. So how do we track? And because again, I'm a numbers person, right? Like those metrics, and how do we?
I think that number is abandonment, you know, in some rounds, or, you know, in more just in Google Analytics terms, it's bounce rate. You know, someone quickly comes and goes, and under, you know, however many seconds, that's what's your bounce rate. And there's, you know, you ideally, in an ideal world, everyone comes and spends, you know, as much time as needed to buy your services on your website. But if there's, you know, something that triggers them, you know, that to get out, that, you know, or go search again, you definitely want to find those things and see if it makes sense to remove that, hide it, put it somewhere else, change how you're doing business, because, you know, it's just not what people are buying. So that's I think that's a whole worthwhile of an entire session.
Yeah, and actually it's very useful if at least once a month, or if you can do it like more often, to do like an audit of your website and learn how to read all those insights and all those analytics, so you can tell what type of people is the one that is clicking and going, or so you see if you need to modify the traffic, how you get rated higher on Google. So yeah, it's very important, not just having the website and think that it's people is going to come by magic, because there's no magic. But yeah, that is something that can easily be done, and you can get all those reports and all those insights once a month, every 2 weeks, every 3 months. It depends also on the type of business and how much you want to go forward and everything. But and I think it's good that the clients want to learn, because in that way, if you get the insights, you know how to read them, and you know that nobody is really telling you fairy tales about it. So it's a very good suggestion. Like for the second marketing bootcamp, we can put something about how to read analytics. That will be a very good topic.
Yeah. Well, we thought we wanted to do that, and we knew that that's people hear the term analytics and they want to know, but we thought, I think maybe starting off with something for the basics, get the foundation laid for it. Because it's put some people off by just dumping right into analytics, because that's
that is the whole topic.
But yeah, I mean, and everyone should, even for when I first started at my old job, I was just the sales manager essentially, and I would still have access to the analytics. So I, as the sales rep, I could communicate. I was jumping in and showing them, okay, here's what we need to do, on these pages. And so it's not just for either the owner or the, it's something you can give access to anybody to with a Gmail address, and and ties, then you can tie it in with keyword research. So there's endless rabbit hole to go down.
That's right.
But having some general sense as to what your website's doing makes a lot of sense. I mean, especially if it's costing you money. And
yeah, it makes a difference, because in that way, okay, there's a difference from 3 months ago, and I'm doing better. I'm receiving more leads. I'm getting more requests. More people is filling the form that I have on the website. So you can really measure how your website is working, and it's not just something that is there like beautifully done.
Yeah, I mean, I work with a couple different energy, seasonal energy providers. So, come May 15th to June 15th, there's a massive spike in inquiries, and it's because of air conditioning season, and then July 4th, boom, drops off. And then, but over the course of a few years, you can really come to expect, okay, we thought it was September 1st, but it's really August 15th that people start looking for
the AC.
For heating, season, or, so by tracking stuff over time, you can really kind of put yourself in a position to plan better moving forward.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you to everybody. I don't know if there's any more questions, comments. So I'll introduce myself for 2 weeks. Google my business. We didn't talk at all about that here, but that's a big traffic generator, and as well as social media. I view it as a social media platform.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll dive into that, show you how to set up your business there, and I think Gladys, you should, if you jump on for that one as well.
Yeah.
It's just getting off the ground.
And then
I'm excited.
I think the end. Am I the end of this whole thing with LinkedIn?
Yeah, you're the last one.
No, the last one is email marketing. You're
that's right. I switched. Okay,
before, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
So everybody has to come to LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Be there.
Gee, we all are going to be there. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. I think it was really nice. And thank you so much, Jamie, for this. That's very, very educational. And I don't know, Amy, if you want to remind everybody when is the next session, what it is about. And we will send also the link with the recording of this session. If you want to share or like to go over it, then you will have it. So hope you have a great week. Drive safe if you're going to drive on the storm.
Yeah.
You can.
I know. Everybody be careful. We've been getting hammered. I mean, oh
my gosh.
Good grief. But thank you, Jamie. It was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.